Today we're going to be learning to turn a shape into a three-dimensional shape. Right now, a square has length and width. So if I was to take my ruler and I was to make a 2-inch by 2-inch by 2-inch square, just like this, then I can see it has length and it has height, or it has height and width, whichever one you want to call it. We're going to be learning how to use one-point perspective. Now, one-point perspective can help us learn where a three-dimensional shape needs to go towards. So if I had a point right here, so I'm going to put a point at the very top of my paper. So you should already have your square drawn. Draw a dot at the top of your paper. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go from this vertex where two lines meet is called a vertex. So from this corner, this vertex, we are going to draw a line going towards that point, that one-point perspective. We're going to do the same thing over here on this side. And then this third corner as well, that's closest to the dot. This is where everything is going towards. It's where everything's vanishing. It's all going to the one-point perspective. Now, if this was a glass cube, then we would need to show what is coming from this corner as well. The way I'm going to show that is with a dotted line. So draw a dotted line. Draw a dotted line from this corner to that one point. Then, the way we show depth is we need to make sure that if this line at the top of the square is going straight across our paper, then we're going to slide back and make sure that it is at the same angle. So making sure that this line is just as straight as this line back here. Now I could slide back as far as I wanted to make it as long as I want, like this. And I'm going to connect those two lines here, the two solid lines, not our dotted line. I'm going to connect these two solid lines here. Then I'm going to look at the side of my square, and I can see that the side of my square is going straight up and down my paper, so I'm going to slide back here. And I'm going to make sure that this line is going straight up and down as well. There we go. So I've connected to the other two solid lines that are coming back. I could see that this is working if I was to shade one of these. So if this was my light source over here, this was my sun, and I had light coming here, and it was hitting right here, and then on this side it is further away from that sun. So we would make it nice and dark right here. Like that. We can now see the three-dimensional shape. Now, like I said, if this was a transparent shape, a little bit see-through, then I would also do this back square. I can see that we're going straight up and down here. I can see that we're going straight up and down here. That's what needs to come to this corner. So I want to mimic this line back here in the back corner, but this time I'm going to use a dotted line until it meets right here. Then I can see that the bottom of my square here is going straight across my paper. So the back of my square also needs to be going straight across my paper. I'm going to use a dotted line to do that. And that's going to meet here. So I have a square here, and I have a square here. And that's how it makes it look as if it's a three-dimensional shape. Now, I don't need these dotted lines that are inside that back square, nor do I need the lines that are outside of that back square. So then I would erase those. Just like that. Okay, if I was looking at shadow, which we're not going to talk much in depth about the shadow, I could see that the sun would hit it here and it would cast a shadow coming down like this. So we'd have our darkest point right here along this, and then it would get lighter and lighter and lighter. Kind of like that, okay? If the sun was also hitting here, then that means this face would also have some shade to it as well. So there we go. That's how to draw our first three-dimensional shape. Now, this gets a lot harder once I introduce a second shape, and I need to figure out how they're going to interact in the same room together, both being three-dimensional. And this gets even harder when we draw something like a star or a shape that is like this. Okay, so if I draw a shape that's kind of crazy that you've never really seen before, it becomes much, much harder. So draw a shape similar to this, and we're going to see how we would go about drawing that. Now, from this corner, from this vertex, we're going to draw a line that goes to that vanishing point. And then the same with this vertex. We're going to draw a line that goes to the vanishing point. And then from where it meets right here, so two lines meet, which means I need to draw a line. It changes directions. Same here. So every one of these spots where it meets, we need to draw a line. Okay, now I'm going to pretend that this shape is solid. So that means that if there was a line coming from this vertex right here where these two lines meet, it would have to go through this shape. I'm not going to do because I'm pretending that this shape is solid. Same here and same here. It'd have to go through that shape. So I'm not worrying about that. Now, if our sun was coming here, it would hit this here and light it up. But then here, along this triangle, it's going to leave some shade. Here, it's coming and it's hitting the face of this, but leaving a shade here. And the same with this one. This one's actually going back this direction, so it's going to be really dark.